Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If we just get everyone to take their seats, and we will get this evening's formalities underway. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the More FM 2022 Wairarapa Bush Club and Representative Awards. For those that don't know me, my name is Brent Kerr from Wairarapa's More FM. It's an absolute pleasure to be here once again tonight and to have people in the room and, of course, watching the live stream as well. I know there's a decent crowd all set to go at the Pukamanu Tavern, so I'm sure you'll all be raising your glasses with Rachel about now. It's great to see so many familiar faces and to celebrate what has been a great club and representative season. Health and safety, it's the event. We have to evacuate the building. Just follow the instructions of the staff, and the assembly point is over in the car park area. It's now my pleasure to call up the CEO of the Wairarapa Bush Rugby Football Union, Mr. Tony Hargood.
Kia ora everyone, and welcome to tonight's 2022 More FM Wairarapa Bush Rugby Awards. It's really good to see you here, and it's really good to be able to hold these events. So thank you very much for being here, and a big welcome to our people on the live stream. I had a look at the numbers last night about how many people viewed the live stream of the awards, and it was just over 2,000. So it's very popular. Welcome to all those people. Special welcome to Jason Carruthers, Chair of Wairarapa Bush Rugby, President Bunter Anderson, board members, nominees, and our special guests. I have an apology from Eric Kenny, our wonderful patron, who still rings me regularly for an update, and more than happy to share his wisdom, his words of wisdom during the year. It's great that Michelle's here to be able to present the Eric Kenny Award tonight. Special welcome to our life members. We have apologies from Bob and Mary Francis and Dave Galvin, and Lady Pamela Hoare sends her warm wishes tonight. She unfortunately has another prior engagement, so she sends her apologies but wishes everyone well for tonight. I'd like to thank the More FM and Media Works for their continued sponsorship of the awards. To Kim and BG again, thank you very much for the work you've put into promoting Wairarapa Bush Rugby. It's outstanding, and we're very, very lucky to have a local radio station who supports not only rugby but so many other important events in the Wairarapa. There's been 2 departures from Media Works this year, and they've been very much part of the rugby in this community. So I would like to just mention Wendy Morrison, who's now with Transit and our new sponsor of secondary school rugby. So thank you, Wendy, for being part of Media Works and also foregoing relationships. And also Trevor Ryan. Trevor has sailed off to a happy retirement, and I think for people who know Trevor, he started off with Trev Sportswear, and he's done an amazing job in this community, international hockey umpire. We will see Trevor around, and he's been great for our promotion of rugby. Fortunately tonight there's a Trust House a meeting, so Charlie Carker, Cindy Grant, Lucy Griffith and Minnie Antonio are tied up in that. But I'd just like to say thank you for Trust House for their important sponsorship of Wairarapa Bush Rugby, but also the work that Trust House does in the community, not only rugby, but the many other amazing things that they support. So it's, I've said it before, it's a huge privilege. We're very lucky to have an organisation like Trust House in the Wairarapa, because what they put back into the community is quite incredible. Millions and millions of dollars each year. And finally, just a huge welcome to you all here tonight. A wonderful group of supporters who are watching on the live stream. But every award that we've had for the last 10 years, there's a group of people we just want to thank. So I'd just like you to all bring your hands together and clap the referees. They're an amazing group of people. So welcome to the referees and thank you for your time. 2022, what a year. It absolutely started with a hiss and a roar. In preparation, all the groundwork was in place by the clubs and administrators, and COVID was a thing of the past until wham. 2 weeks out from the competition, kicking off the dreaded lockdown, and this time it was a bit different from the previous years. We were left with a bit of a traffic light system. The mood of the country had changed, and we were able to get underway under an orange system, which then sort of became an orangey-greeny thing, and then pretty much close to the end of it, we sort of made up the rules as we went along until it was sort of turned, or the traffic lights were turned off. So I just want to thank everybody for the work in the clubs and the schools for working through that and remaining positive. There were some great highlights, and we did have another year of growth. Personally, I really enjoyed looking at the seeds that were planted years ago come to fruition. I thought I might just take a look at a couple of them and what's happened with those seeds that we planted. I think the investment in women's rugby, the Wairarapa Wahine Toa, the Heartland Rep season as well, that is a growing space. I'm just trying to remember the numbers, but I think last year we had about 200 registered girls in rugby through all the grades. With the Ripa rugby girls, we're up around about 500. So well done. It's an amazing to see what's happening. Next week, the Heartland CEOs were meeting up in Auckland. We've got a big session on Heartland Women's Rugby, and we're looking to create a New Zealand Heartland Women's competition, and you'll probably find that it will probably have more teams in it than the Wairarapa. So we're in a great space in women's rugby, so we just want to keep growing that. The investment in school rugby, we set up the college fund. We saw an increase in schoolboy rugby registrations. But more interesting, I just thought I might just touch on this because it is a mood change in the country around schoolboy rugby. So yesterday, for people who followed the news, Auckland School has banned the live stream of their college game as they finally recognised the values of the college game and made use of it. I just want to predict, because we sort of see a bit of a window here, that Heartland schoolboy and girls rugby will no longer, schoolboy rugby in New Zealand will be no longer based on elitism, and an even playing field will return. It'll probably take 5 or 6 years, but this is a major step towards understanding that rugby is about what it is. It's not about stardom, it's about community, it's about teamwork, it's about learning to play. And I actually think that decision by the Auckland secondary schools is quite a major one. I have a very, very supportive board, and back in 2018 I went to the board with a proposal to live stream. It was turned down. I came back with a trial proposal that was approved. And I just want to thank Toby Mills, Wairarapa TV, and his team. We're now sort of pretty much rated the best in the game at live streaming. Along with the other Heartland unions, it became such an important part that they have decided to put Heartland games on Sky TV. So we shifted the dial, we moved to change the mood of the country. So I just want to take the opportunity. Toby Mills is behind there doing all this work. You've seen the live stream. We have 100,000 views. He's behind the Charles and Pesco show. He's behind the club finals. So Toby, can we just drag you from the screens? Come forward. While our representative season had highs and lows, I think success comes in lots of different forms as well. I just thought I'd like to mention a couple, Mark Childs and Joe Nuku, who was assistant assisting in the coaching of the Hurricanes Heartland team under 20 team with that big famous win against the Chiefs this year. And as of today, Shea O'Gorman, who I found out his nickname is called Machine, has been announced as the assistant manager of the New Zealand Heartland team today. So just congratulations to those people who do the work and the mahi off the field, and I think it's great that they've been able to achieve at a national level. I just want to touch on a little bit about hope. It's a theme that I talk about a lot at different places. Hope's really important. We have seen a drop-off in senior men's rugby, especially around that sort of reserve and social grade. I just want to say, don't worry, this is happening right across all sports in New Zealand, around that particular area. Senior men's rugby is going to bounce back, and it's actually going to come back stronger than expected. And there's a big reason for it. Again, I just have the opportunity to listen, learn and talk to a lot of people. But one of the big things that's coming through now is around the mental health, and people finally realising sport is actually good for the soul. I'm sort of working on some proposals to put forward to the board and other key people about the key message of combining well-being and rugby go hand in hand. The What About You campaign has resonated so strongly throughout the community. We're now getting asked to present to companies on why we got into that space. Sport and rugby improves your mental health, brings communities together, and the clubhouse is somewhere you can now go and actually have a laugh with your whole family. The days of the booze barns have gone. Wairarapa Bush, I believe, should lead the way in the community and nationally, shrugging off the gloom of the last 3 years and focus on nothing but the positives. No more moaning, no more deep dive analysis. Let's just get out there, have some fun, and be proud of what we've achieved. Wairarapa Bush is rated highly by other unions for our hosting, our friendliness. We do have the best supporters club in New Zealand, and our facilities. So let's enjoy what we do have, and let's leave some of that baggage of the last 3 years at the gate. Finally, I just want to spend a special moment to talk about three people. Peter Debney. Peter, where are you? Peter Debney is retiring this year. Peter has been the face of our What About You campaign. Peter, thank you for your time, your patience and your hard work. You've led the union well in our promotion with Te Ora Health and the Health Promotion Agency, and worked along with Kath Tomlinson and Kath Sandswearing, who you've all met. Kath and Kath, as we've come to know them. Peter, thank you. It's been a dial changer, and I'd just like everyone to thank Peter for being the hard work that he's done around the What About You campaign. I take the opportunity to thank Mark Garutini. Mark has retired after 2 years. His first season was under COVID, which was problematic for a lot of people. This year saw a number of disruptions as well. Mark's been our Heartland coach for 6 years over 2 stints. He's made 2 semi-finals in the Heartland Championship. He's been the New Zealand Heartland coach, the New Zealand Heartland Under-19 coach. Work commitments has seen Mark retire, but just so you know how well respected Mark is in the rugby community, in the ecosystem, I've already had 1 phone call from a Heartland union that have approached me to see about his availability for 2023. Mark is hugely respected throughout New Zealand rugby, and we wish him well for the future. So Mark Rootney, thank you very much for your 6 years contribution. Finally, I just want to mention our chair, Jason Carruthers, and the reference here is the Silver Lake deal. It's a case of where do you start and where do you finish. There will be a book written about this saga, and it's actually great to have tonight here Josh Willoughby, who was a former CEO of Poverty Bay, but now with New Zealand Rugby. We were heavily involved in a lot of those negotiations. I've said it before, the Heartland position, and led strongly by Jason, was that we were to be at the table. And I think the results that came out of that was Heartland was pretty special and set us up for a long time. So just on behalf of probably all the New Zealand Heartland unions, Jason, for your governance work and your legal work in that deal, thank you very much. However, I'm just going to leave you before you hand over the awards night and back to BG. Jason and I received an email from Bill Osborne after our 50th. For people know, he was Bill was obviously an All Black. He's been past president of New Zealand Rugby. He's now the chair of Chiefs, and he was a special guest speaker for us at the 50th. I just want you to listen to what he wrote, and it's exactly everything we should be proud of. Kia ora, Jason. I've just been reflecting on last Sunday's celebration of 50 years Wairarapa Bush Rugby and wanted to say thank you for allowing me to attend. It really brought back to me how great the community connection is in the heartland of New Zealand. In this day and age, it is often hard to find the time to reflect on core values that bind communities and rugby together. Whānau, humility, teamwork, commitment, respect, encouragement, and celebration all spring to mind. Last week's celebration illustrated just how strong the bond can be, and the occasion amplified the importance of this connection for me. Thank you. Congratulations to you for leading a team of great people doing great things. Thank you so much for inviting me to share in the festivities. Bill Osborne. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony, and it was certainly a very good weekend. But on to the awards, ladies and gentlemen, and we have several tonight, which is fantastic. I just want to say also a big mihi nui to everyone that took the time to put a nomination in, to fill it out, to single out those people in the clubs that are doing all the hard mahi, whether that be on the administration level, whether that be or the coaching, just organising things like water bottles and that. Rugby's a machine, and everyone plays a very, very big part of that machine. So thank you to everyone that has been involved in the 2022 season. We start, ladies and gentlemen, with the Farrier McLeod Trophy for Volunteer of the Year. And the nominees are Sisters Makiri Rimini and Joyce Thompson of Pioneer Sports Club. The depth and breadth of the Sisters' service to Pioneer Sports Club is extraordinary. Their outstanding leadership qualities are demonstrated through contributions to our JAB Shop Fund, Senior Club Catering Hospitality, and JAB General Wellbeing has also distinguished them amongst other club volunteers. Both sisters have been long-time advocates for the Pioneer Sports Club and the club's generous support of grassroots JAB. The service goes back a number of years. Every winter, on a Saturday, the sisters can be found volunteering their time from 8 in the morning till 6 at night, conducting shop and kitchen duties for Pioneer JB through to senior rugby. During our time at the club, the sisters have started a real revenue stream for JB through the JB Tuck Shop, which gives us real options for the club. The volunteer work also extends to the weekly Thursday night supper for both JB and senior teams, monthly manager meetings for JAB, information, dissemination, and a number of social events like barbecues and annual JAB prize giving. Makiri and Joyce, Rimi and Thompson. Brilliant. Our next nomination tonight is for Rhys Scott. Weta has been the manager of the Carterton Premier team for 7 years, and a role he has seamlessly built into his own. He makes a significant contribution to the club with his time, expertise and sponsorship. It takes being a manager seriously. Much of what he does helps the club run smoothly, and it's often if it had been him doing these things, some of them would have gone pear-shaped. He is committed to the team as a whole and players. He's always there. He's a Mr. to the lads. He knows how to get things done and is a conduit from the team to the club and to the union. And our final nominee tonight is Pip Sutherland. Pip's official title was the manager for the Martinborough Premier team. However, he goes above and beyond what is expected of him, to the point that the club cannot come up with a title that defines exactly what he does. Pip can be seen at all the games, strapping players, running water, administering first aid, generally organising the team so they can concentrate on their game. He takes care of cleaning the uniforms, and if anyone misplaces the gear, will usually turn up at training, washed and ready for its owner. At Thursday trainings, Pip cooks dinner for the team, rain, hail or snow. I'm pretty sure we had all of those this year actually. At Thursday nights, he continues to work with, even on the barbecue outside. The boys have a hot feed as they run off the field. And Sunday mornings, him and his wife Sue will be down at the changing sheds, cleaning it out, sorting the rubbish and recycling, and taking to the transfer station, amongst other things. He's the first person to put his hand up for any club fundraisers, and for over 10 years, Pip has quietly gone about his job. He's a huge part of the Martinborough Rugby Club and senior teams. Pip Sutherland. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. It is now my pleasure to call up Farrier McLeod to present the award. And the winner of the Farrier McLeod Trophy for Volunteer of the Year, Makini Rimini and Joyce Thompson. You both got to come up. All right, now you get to pose for the photo as well. Give another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. Our next award tonight is the David Galvin Trophy for Top Administrator of the Year, and the nominees are Peter Debney, nominated for this award for his outstanding contribution to the Wairarapa Bush Rugby Union in 2022. Peter has been the Wairarapa Bush Rugby Referees Association Appointments Officer for over 15 years, a challenging and obviously quite often thankless task. Peter's been an outstanding administrator through his tenure. This role sees him planning ahead through his matrix to appoint referees and ARs to games weeks in advance. He spends hours planning in order to make sure the teams avoid meeting the same referee in quick succession. He manages individual referees' work and personal requirements in order to maximise their involvement. Once that's finalised, Peter spends his week fielding calls from other refs who have had to pull out for whatever reason, or club officials seeking a ref for an unadvised game, so often on a Saturday morning. Peter can have version 3 or 4 of his weekly draw, with no games going unappointed. 2022, however, would have been Peter's hardest year and provided challenges in the extreme. COVID played havoc not only with players, but referees were also not immune. Through Peter's dedication and hard work, every game that was able to be played was covered with a referee, and in many cases, ARs. His phone rang red hot with withdrawals, and even while himself went down with the lurgy, he managed the appointment process with just absolute sincerity and dedication. His manner and calmness is such that whenever he rings seeking a change or late appointment, no referee is able to decline his request within reason. And this has enabled Wairarapa Bush Rugby to function during an exceptionally unusual season. We believe Peter's administration skills in 2022 are worthy of recognition, and he would be deserving of this honour. Our next nominee tonight is Steve Hurley, a passionate Carterton rugby man through and through. Steve has been the president for the club for 7 years and is visionary as well as practical. He's been part of the Carterton Rugby Club for well over 40 years, having started playing as a youngster and participated or served at every level. A third-generation club member and, like his father Laurie before him, a life member. Steve is a championship-winning coach, having won the championship with his team in 2006. He's used his business acumen, wisdom and quick-wittedness to steer the club during uncertain times and maintains a professional manner whilst dealing with matters both personnel and within the club, keeping rugby at the forefront and ensuring players' passion for the game and the club is preserved. Steve Hurley. And our final nomination tonight, Sean Draper. Sean is a valued member of the Martinborough Rugby Club, and for this reason he received the Taffy Rollins Memorial Cup for Most Valuable Club Person. His roles included committee member, club captain, council of clubs delegate, as well as Wairarapa Bush Rugby Union board member. Sean has an in-depth understanding of his roles and what is required of him. When a level head is needed, he is our go-to person and quickly puts things into perspective. Sean has played an instrumental part in not only the Martinborough Club, but also the Wairarapa Bush Rugby Union. And I'd like to call up one of our board members to present this award. Sharon. And the winner of the David Galvin Trophy for Top Administrator of the Year 2022 is Peter Debney. I must admit, when Pete does ring you, it is kind of hard to say no. Pete's also looking for more referees for the Saturday, just saying.
Yeah, well, that's what the advertisement's about. But really, to stand here with Steve and with Sean and knowing the contribution they make, and in actual fact, rugby and the clubs are what makes our community, the Wairarapa, what it is. And the way that you guys got behind What About You, which is a particular part, and looking after your mates on the paddock and off the paddock, and believe you me, it's more important right now that we continue to do that, guys. So make time for your mates, but to you all, it's the clubs and every guy in the clubs that actually get out there and put it and support their community. That's what makes rugby the game it is today. Thank you all very much.
Our next award tonight is the Ron Hughes Trophy for Top Administrator of the Year Junior. And the nominations are Tristana Campbell, Pioneer. It is by no accident that Pioneer JB membership has increased by 50% for the 2022 season to a roster of circa 145 players from the circa 95 players of 2021. Unlike other clubs, JB numbers are up with Pioneer. This was achieved through not only hard work, but moreover a targeted membership approach combined with a koha-based fee initiative with second-hand boots and kit available. For the first time in many years, if ever, Pioneer had representation in all JB rugby grades. Pioneer Rugby has rolled out a new player strip for all JB teams, which she facilitated through a deliberate sizing schedule and tight chain of custody administration. She assumed the role of unofficial spokesperson and mediator on Saturday committee meetings on behalf of JB managers seeking mutual agreement on all things JB. Stepped in with Bush as the de facto Pioneer JB delegate when required. Tristana has also taken it upon herself to provide exceptional support and service to new parents and players. She discerns quickly their individual needs and moves efficiently to provide key information, recommendations or direction. Beyond this, and during the rugby season, she juggles her extracurricular activities with busy farming obligations and young family commitments. Tristana Campbell. Our next nominee tonight is Emily Farrell. Emily has been the main organiser of the 2022 Marist JB, one of the largest in the region. 10 teams in total and 120 plus registered players. Emily has been responsible for all players having playing kit and mouthguards, coordinated all the fundraising for the JAB in what has been a difficult year due to COVID, making its way right through the country. Emily was also responsible for arranging successful registration days and well-attended JAB prize givings, which also served as a chance for socialisation and celebration for our younger players' achievements. She acts as JAB Treasurer and has also organised all the sponsorship for the Marist JAB. These are major roles to have taken on due to the large size of the JAB, and she's been approachable and positive at all times. And to top it off, she took a leading role in organising the JAB Festival Day, which was well attended by all and had a lot of people commenting on how good the concept was. Emily Farrell. And our final nomination tonight is Suze Oliver. Suze has been involved with the Gladstone JB for 13 years and has been the main organiser for the junior teams, taking care of registrations, organising equipment and uniforms and general management of the club. She's been the unofficial president of the Gladstone JB, working behind the scenes to ensure everything runs smoothly, is passionate about all teams in the club, taking photos and posting them on Facebook every week. Suze Oliver. And I'd like to call up Tony Hargood to present this award. And the winner of the Ron Hughes Trophy Top Administrator of the Year is Suze Oliver. For those astute with their eyes, this is not Suze, this is Sharon. Still starts with S, but we will ensure that that prize is then delivered. Beautiful. Thank you, team.
I'll just say,
Sure.
this is just with my Gladstone hat on, not my Wairarapa Bush hat on, that I'm collecting this on behalf of Sue's. And amongst, one of the things she's best known for, along with all that administration, is her photography. She does a hang of a lot of it all over the show, rugby for schools.
Thanks, Sharon. Our next award tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the Secondary Player Female of the Year. And our nominations are Xanthi Somerville, Solway College. Xanthi is carving out a niche as a dynamic flanker on the rise in the women's game in the Wairarapa region. Xanthi is continually looking to improve her knowledge of the game and her skill set, having started out in the combined schools team in recent years and is currently in her second year playing at senior level for the new Wairarapa Wahine Toa Club and the Heartland senior women's side. With no age grade rugby available, currently Xanthi has adapted well to a high level of football and has a bright future ahead of her game, and actually jointly won Forward of the Year this year for Wairarapa Wahine Toa. Xanthi Somerville. And our next nomination tonight is Kaya Maita, Te Kura Kōpapa Māori o Wairarapa. An up-and-coming outside back, that was the 2020 award winner. Kai has been slowly integrating into senior rugby while juggling her other sporting passions as well. With the limited opportunities at the age group level, Kai took the opportunity to play club rugby for the new Wairarapa Wahine Toa side in 2022. Kai was able to convert her opportunities into a place in the Te Tininga Maui i Te Toa Maikuri Māori Under-18 rugby camp held in Palmerston North in the July school holidays. As the only representative from the Wairarapa region, Kai was able to take some key learning from the camp and hopefully lay the foundation for many more to come and the future of that rugby and that program in our region to attend in the future. Kaya Maita. Just to quickly check in, she's also reasonably pleasurable to coach as well from time to time. The winner, ladies and gentlemen, of this trophy tonight, the Secondary Player of the Year, will be presented by Scott Collins. And the winner of the Secondary Player of the Year, female, is Xanthi Somerville.
Just like a big thank you to BG and Mr, as I call him, can't manage to call him Scotty, for growing the women's game, because I've been trying to get a good women's team for a very long time. You guys are awesome, and to everyone in the community who supports us is awesome. Thank you.
Our next award tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the Rutini Family Secondary Player Male of the Year. And the nominations are JJ Gillies from Kiranui College. JJ had a superb year for the Kiranui College First 15, playing in the local midweek competition, was a consistent standout performer. He managed to break tackles every time he carried the ball and made a big impression on defence. By the end of the competition, he was averaging 2 tries a game. Many of the coaches spoke and agreed the way he played. He was the MVP of the competition across all teams. As a captain and player, he was instrumental in Kiranui College, having their most successful season of the competition since it started, with the most wins in a season and only narrowly missing out on a place in the final. JJ capped off a successful school rugby season by being selected and playing for the both Wairarapa Bush Under-18s and Under-20s. Our next nominee tonight is Wiremu Bartlett from Rathkiel College. Wiremu had another fantastic season for Rathkiel First 15, being his 3rd year in the First 15 and playing in the C&I competition. He was a consistent performer each week that led from the front, as a good captain should. And at recent Rathkiel Club Rugby Awards, Wiremu was acknowledged for the most tries for the First 15, as well as winning Most Valuable Player and Players Player for Rathkiel College. Wirramoo's fantastic season was also capped off with selection for the 2022 New Zealand Māori Under-18 camp and Hurricanes Under-18 Development camp, where he was captain of the Barrett 15. A valuable team member of the Wairarapa Bush Under-18s in their 2022 rep campaign, he also gained rugby colours and was awarded to his the Magnum Honorarium tie, the highest sporting recognition for service to rugby. And our final nomination tonight is for Lashan Rere Paku, Wairarapa College. Lashan played almost every minute of every game for the Wairarapa College First 15 in 2022, and as a Year 11 player, that in itself is a great achievement. But adding to that, he was Waiko's most consistent performer and best defensive player. In a standout season, he was quite rightly named their Player of the Year. Lashan also played a key role for the Wairarapa Bush Under-16 representative team, having one of their best seasons in recent memory, and was named as their joint best player. His electric burst of pace and ability to read the opposition meant that he was always a threat with ball in hand. His defence was unrivalled, and he is such a powerful player in a small package. His ability to play big minutes is a testament to his work that he does away from rugby as a nationally ranked CrossFit exponent. He has so much potential and is very exciting to see what he can achieve in the future. Lashan Rere Paku. It's now my pleasure to call up Mark Rutini to present this award. Oh, sorry, Ron's going to present it. Pardon me. And the winner of the Rutini Family Secondary Player of the Year Male is Wirramoo Bartlett. For those that don't know, Wirramoo's somewhat younger than Stacey Grant. No offence, Stace. But unfortunately cannot be here this evening.
Kia ora everyone, Wirramoo can't be here tonight. He's on a leadership course for the next 10 days. Just probably what he would say first is he would probably acknowledge JJ and Lashan on top seasons. I personally have watched both of them this year and they deserve to be nominated and be alongside Wirramoo. Also to Roz and Jean, his parents, huge supporters of Wirramoo and they follow him everywhere along with his whole whānau, so just like to acknowledge them, and also Eli and Garth, his coaches, and Dion, who's the head of rugby at Rathkeil, and the school for all their support. Kia ora.
Our next award tonight is the Patrick Rimini Trophy for Top Point Scorer at Premier Year. And to present this award, I'd like to welcome up from NZAU, Josh Willoughby. Josh, if you'd like to come forward. Unfortunately, our recipient is overseas, but we do have a family member that is going to come and collect it on his behalf. And the winner of this trophy tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is Sam Morrison with a whopping 79 points in the season. So absolutely fantastic. Reece is going to come up. Do you have a word?
Hey, for those that don't know where Sammy is at the moment, he's over in the UK playing for North Petherton. So he's a man of few words, so I'll follow in his suit. Cheers.
Our next award tonight is the Maruera Ben Rewaikat's Trophy for Top Try Scorer at Premier Years. Josh, if you'd like to come back up and present this award. And the winner of this trophy scored 10 tries throughout the club season and had a fantastic season, not only at club but also representative level. Asiri Waka. Our next award tonight is the Mrs. A. McPhee Trophy for Premier Player of the Year Women. And the nominees are Lisa Timuana-Nui. Lisa burst onto the club scene this year with the Wairarapa Wahine Tour, and like many in the squad, it was a case of learning on the job. However, her play at fly half was a real highlight for the team in 2022. Possessing great foundation skills from her touch rugby background, her drive to become better each time she was on the field really helped to develop her game management. She's a strong and courageous defender, and her willingness to chase down any player that made a break really showed her determination on the field. Lisa is a hard worker that will become a backbone for the club and rep teams for many years to come. Lisa. Our next nominee tonight is Missy Williams. An experienced campaigner that has spent some time playing in the Wellington Premier Women's Competition. Recently, Missy decided to make the move to Wairarapa and really does exemplify the rugby battler. A quiet-natured player that lets her actions do the talking on the field, Missy was a willing combatant in the contact area and helped lead the four-pack during the season. Possessing good size and skills for number 8 and a determination to lead with the ball in hand really makes her an ideal cog that you can build a team around. And also, nothing like a goal kicking forward to really break the mould. Missy Williams. Our next nominee tonight is Darlene Iona. A surprise package in the front row this year, Darlene enjoyed her first year of rugby in 2022. Possessing a quiet demeanour off the field, Darlene transformed into a powerful ball carrier and hard hitter when she stepped onto the field. Being a first-year player, Darlene had a lot to learn across the season, but it was her willingness to develop her skills and game that was truly exceptional. Darlene Iona. And I'd like to call up our presenter for this, Sharon. Your Mrs. A. McPhee Trophy Premier Player of the Year 2022, Lisa Timuana-Nui. If you weren't going to say something as a 10, I would have been really surprised.
Kia ora everyone. I just usually have a lot of words to say and they can't shut me up on the field, but I'm talking in front of you lot. Yeah, pretty nervous. I just want to say a big thank you to BG, to Scott and the club for really supporting the Wahine Tour, getting up, getting ready, and then proceeding on to getting us a bush team. So really appreciate your efforts. I hope it continues, and yeah, see you next year. Thank you.
We're not too tired, are we, Scotty? We'll be back next year? Cool, just checking. Yeah, as long as Tahi can remain coming to training with Craig, we're good. Rightio, our next award tonight is the Reserve Player of the Year, and the nominations are Tyne Stafford. Tyne had another great year for the Tūrangi Rugby Football Club. He was captain for the season and led from the front both at training and on game day, bringing a high level of physicality and a positive attitude to the team's environment. At prize giving, he was awarded the most dedicated trainer, players player and MVP. Tyne was selected for the Wairarapa Bush Barbarian side and played a high level of rugby for that team. Tyne Stafford. Our next nomination tonight is for Isaac Vollerbrit. Isaac is a key member of the Tūrangi backline. He can play multiple positions and is extremely effective in all of them. Isaac was responsible for crucial defensive tackles from fullback in his semi-final that he had missed from the player that would have made the final. So he was a prime component in that. Isaac is a member of our senior leaders group within the team and is always on hand to help out around the club and wider community. Was the top point scorer in the Tuharangi team and was also selected for the Wairarapa Bush Barbarians side. Isaac Vollerbrit. And Bunter, if I'd like to call you up to present the award. And the winner of the Reserve Player of the Year 2022, Tyne Stafford. Come on, when you go down to Tuharangi, you're famous for making sure everyone does the speech, mate. Come on back up, come on. And we played down there a few times, mate. It's one of the best clubs to go to for an aftermatch, so.
I'd just like to thank all the unsung battlers of the clubs, everyone that makes it happen every Saturday. There's a lot of people that never actually get thanked up on stage, so cheers to all the guys that make it happen. I'm lucky enough I just get to turn up and play, so I think I'm one of the lucky ones. There's a lot of people there that just work, buddy, all weekend to make it happen. So, cheers everyone. It's been a good season. The reserve grade this year was a bit of a mixed bag of results. The draw got changed a few times, but luckily Turing ended up on top. So, cheers everyone.
I don't know what you're worried about. Good speech. Fantastic. And next award tonight is the Pat Shanahan Premier Player of the Year. And the nominees are Jared Hawkins, the talisman from Martinborough, did more for his club team than just play rugby. A true leader on and off the field that his teammates were inspired by. Jared was fearless on defence with a work rate a lot would agree was unmatched to the Premier grade and also showed the value he brings to a team on field is not limited to his defensive abilities, as scoring a number of meat pies this season. Jared was a late call into the Heartland team where he earned his 25-game plater, and that showed any doubt. Call into the Heartland team where he earned his 25-game plater, and that showed any doubters that he should have been there from the get-go. Through his actions, Jared has become a true rangatira in his rugby teams. Jared Hawkins. Our next nominee tonight is Asiri Waka. In his second year playing for the Maroons, and his skill, flair and athleticism has been on show during every game as he cemented himself into the Carterton backline, particularly at his favoured number 15. He was a big part of the Premier side's championship win in 2022 and has gone on to be a valuable member of the Wairarapa Bush side. Watch this space. Ace, as he is known, scored 62 points, 12 tries and a conversion over the season, making him easily the club's highest try scorer. Asiri, quite an achiever, who lets his exciting brand of rugby to talking. He's an integral part of the team and his integrity shows both on and off the playing field. Siri Waka. And the final nominee tonight is Sam Gammy. He turned up at Ekatahuna Rugby Club pre-season training this year for he's been voted to do well with the club and the Heartland side should he be selected. He leads by doing and gives 100% week in, week out, on and off the field, complemented by most of him and his family now of the Ekatahuna Rugby Club committee, working tirelessly behind the scenes as well. His commitment to doing what's best for the team is best indicated by his willingness to jump into the front row if required, knowing that he'd much prefer to play in the loose forwards. He adds value by helping with line-out leadership and always shares his knowledge with the rest of the team. We didn't win a game this season, but Sam was always positive and tried to carry the team wherever he could, always consistently giving excellent and standout performances. Sam Gammy. So for the Pat Shanahan Premier Player of the Year, I'd like to call up Tony to present this award. And the winner of the Pat Shanahan Premier Player of the Year, Asiri Waka.
Just first of all, I'd just like to congratulate my fellow nominees, Sam Gammy and Jared Hawkins, two guys who equally deserve this award as well. Two guys I also enjoyed playing bush with this year, down to earth, and just a pleasure to be around. Second of all, I'd just like to thank the Wairarapa Bush Union for this award, and to the fellow Carterton team and the management. It's good to bring something back to Carterton this year after 12 long years. Especially to also see Ronnie at the aftermatch after the game, getting on with the boys. But it's an honour, it's a privilege, and thank you.
And next award tonight is the Eric Kinney Trophy for Rugby Personality of the Year. And the nominees are Tony Beach, Marist. A game of club and also representative rugby cannot go by for Marist or Wairarapa Bush without the voice of Tony Beach being heard on one of the sidelines. I knew I'd get a giggle out of that. I didn't even write it, so there we go. His pride and passion for his club is second to none, and he only missed one Marist game this year due to being struck down with COVID-19. He attended every Wairarapa Bush game, home and away. Not only a passionate supporter of the 80 minutes played on the field itself, he will always be found taking in the hospitality of away teams' club rooms, putting much needed money over the clubs for the clubs over the bar. When Marist is playing at home, he's always welcoming the opposition and is always willing to buy a non-alcoholic beverage for the players or coaching staff. The ultimate third half hero. He can also be seen out and about on a Saturday morning at JB and college games, catching up with rugby people and keeping his pulse on what's happening in the community. He's also become a semi-regular figure in the First 15 Bidweek competition, supporting the Kiranui First 15 as his son Peter and Marist Premier Player is the coach. There are also rumours circulating that you organised the Streaker at the Premier Final this year, and to add to the carnival atmosphere and give Marist a much-needed break with Carterton hot on attack. Quite a character. We are also quite thankful that Tony himself was not the Streaker, I guess at this point. It would be key to point out. Tony Beach. Our next nomination tonight for the Eric Kinney Trophy for Rugby Personality of the Year is Dean Gooden. Dean is a larger-than-life character who is extremely loyal to three things: Wairarapa Bush Rugby, Pioneer Sports Rugby Club and the Referees Association. He's dedicated his life to all three and each hold a special place in his life. A man who will never say no to a request for help and brings his own fantastic style to every rugby occasion. He works tirelessly at the Pioneer Rugby Club, especially within the bar. That's behind the bar, not in front of it, just to clarify that. And he also referees whenever his work commitments will allow, especially on Wednesday night appointments with the Wairarapa Bush First 15 competition. His loyalty to the game extends to the Golden Oldies, and he's a proud member of the Mohillians. Even when they can't field a team, Dino takes his Mohillian jersey on tour and represents Wairarapa Bush. He's well known that he never needs an introduction, and with his booming voice, it's generally hard to, he's certainly heard before he's seen. Dino says it was an obvious fit to become a referee because of extensive knowledge of rugby. He proudly admits to having never read the rule book, because why would he want to confuse the game by applying some meaningful rules to actually fit? A special personality for Wairarapa Bush Rugby, and our whole game is lucky to have him, and we feel he's a great candidate for the Eric Kinney Trophy. I'd like to call up Michelle to present the award tonight. And the winner of the Eric Kinney Trophy Rugby Personality of the Year 2022 is Dean Gooden. Now, just to let you know, true to his commitment, Dino's actually over with the Yellow Bellies from Hamilton Golden Oldies playing rugby in the Cook Islands at the moment. Well, I say playing, it's more like participating. He wanted to thank Pioneer Rugby Club, Wairarapa Bush Rugby Referees Association and Milhillians Club. All the best to the winners on the night that got nominated as well. Congratulations to you. We all do what we do for the love of the game. Cheers, Dino. Our next award tonight is the Kingy Matthews Trophy for Top Māori Player of the Year. And our nominations are James Goodyear, Ngāti Kahanunu, an integral part of Marist making their second finals appearance in 3 years. After taking last year off to focus on refereeing and recuperating his body, James made a successful return to both club and representative rugby. Although James usually wears a 6 on his back, with his skill and ability, he could play anywhere from 4 to 15. For both Marist and Wairarapa Bush, he excelled at line-out and kick-off time, where he was always a threat on his own ball and opposition's. His work rate and fitness on game day was second to none at Marist, and the same could also be said for performances at the Heartland level. Also, much of Marist's end-of-season success could be put down to Goodyear's exceptional goal-kicking ability, which always added 10 to 15 points to Marist from the get-go. When he was not playing or training, he was giving back to the game he held so highly by either coaching or officiating. He was captain of the Wairarapa Bush Heartland side, coach of one of the Wairarapa College under-15 rugby teams, as well as a referee on a Saturday morning and Wednesday night rugby. James Goodyear. Our next nominee tonight is Rhys Colkin. Rhys played a vital role within the Pioneer Premier team this season. His leadership on-field and ability to direct his troops, eye for space and vision outside him are all traits which make him a key part of the team. Least not mention his talent with the boot, whether it be tactical on-field or off the tee. Rhys also won the inaugural Warren Deddy Trophy for his performance against East Coast. He was a threat that all opposition talked about prior to playing Pioneer and was unlucky not to be given more opportunity to show his talent at Heartland level. Rhys Colkin. And our final nominee tonight is Wiremu Bartlett from Rathkill College. Hurricanes Under-18 Development Camp and captain of the Barrett 15, 2022 New Zealand Māori Under-18 Camp, Wairarapa Bush Under-18s, Rathkill College First 15, most tries, most valuable player and players player for Rathkill College First 15. Certainly a very impressive CV. Wiremu Bartlett. I'd now like to call up a family member of the Matthews family for the Kingy Matthews Trophy for Top Māori Player of the Year. Your 2022 Kingy Matthews Trophy for Top Māori Player of the Year, James Goodyear.
Hey, kia ora everybody. Pleasure to be here tonight. Firstly, I'd just like to touch on the club rugby season for the Mighty Marist. Unfortunately, yeah, we couldn't go all the way this year, hoping to make a repeat of 2020. But, you know, Marist 2023, it is what it is, eh? So I see we've got our Mighty Marist table over there. So, and I'd also like to thank, was it Tyne that mentioned all the guys that don't get thanked behind the scenes? I'd like to say thank you to you guys as well. Special thank you to Nanny Michelle. She looks after us. She feeds us every Thursday. She nannies us year in, year out, and I'm very appreciative of it. Thank you, Nanny Mish. Wairarapa Bush, we couldn't, had a bit of a tough season, but we can always come back from that. It's going to be a bit of a mission, but it's possible. So, yeah, just keep rising, boys. It's good to see some young fellas over here and over there. I'm all about the young up and coming players. You know, it keeps us older players on our toes. Thirdly, last but probably the best actually, how good is it to see women's rugby around New Zealand growing? They work just as hard as us, if not more. So to give them a bit of acknowledgement goes a long way. So hopefully they can keep going. It's good to have like BG in amongst it, Scotty here, and growing the women's game. So that's awesome. So thank you very much. Cheers.
Excellent, ladies and gentlemen, you have been sitting for a while, so it's a fitting time now to maybe go and refresh your drinks, visit the bathroom if you need to, and we'll be back in a few moments. Thank you. drinks and take your seats. We'll get underway with the second half. All right, ladies and gentlemen, grab your seats and we'll get into the second half. I know. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second half of the More FM Wairarapa Bush Club Rugby Awards for 2022. We'll start with the Reserve Coach of the Year, and certainly a very, very important grade to continue for those players that have played Premier Year or those players that are wanting to get there. The Reserve Coach of the Year nominees are Tim Roberts. Tim has been the coach of the Tuharangi Senior Reserves for a while now, and he's a player and coach, so the role can both get rather busy at times. He's instilled a very positive attitude and work ethic into the team that rewards the effort of the players put in each and every week. With the nature of his season, he's stepped up a lot and managed a very competitive side on the field every week, regardless of player numbers or other issues. He was rewarded with a very well-played final that allowed the team to take out the reserve grade final for 2022 and was awarded at the prize giving the Scott Cup for team contribution. Our next nomination tonight is for Brady Bingham. A servant of the Greytown Rugby Football Club, Brady has been instrumental in pulling the club's senior reserve team together over the last 4 years. This year, Brady helped lead the way with the combining of the Greytown and Carter teams, two long-time rivals. Brady helped guide a seamless merger that was tremendously positive for all involved and a great example for other clubs on how clubs can work together for the betterment of the game and players. Whilst Brady might not be listed on paper as the team coach, he certainly did as much, if not more than most, and throughout the season was a coach, manager, physio, water boy, trainer, and even a player at times. And our third nomination tonight is for Namu Lopa. Namu made an immediate impact since taking the role of the Marist senior reserve coach this year. In a time where the club and a lot of clubs were struggling for numbers, Namu was able to use his personality and mana to assemble a large and strong playing squad. He ran organised and effective training sessions which transferred to the success on the rugby field. This was especially evident with the side making their top-tier final after finishing towards the bottom of the table the previous year. It shows his true character and excellent coaching ability to do that when players across the union are sparse. In a year when teams throughout the senior reserve competition defaulted and couldn't play with 15 players or were deferred due to COVID, Namu and his coaching team didn't have to resort to that once. He's also developed a strong culture with his team, which meant they have represented the Marist club with pride both on and off the field. Namu's coaching ability is evident by being able to prepare a team to compete with or even defeat clubs like Red Star and Tuharangi who are playing their premier sides. Namu Lopa, your Reserve Coach of the Year nominees. And Bunter, I'd like to call you up to present the Reserve Coach of the Year. And your Senior Reserve Coach of the Year winner, Tim Roberts.
Right, yeah, that's pretty cool to get that. I'm pretty stoked with that one. First of all, just cheers to Brady and cheers to Namu for all your efforts this year. And I really want to thank my sort of support team that I had. So Scott Dormer, our manager, and Dongas and Mutton, who helped out with coaching on Thursdays and Saturdays. But really, I think this one here is a team trophy, you know, because it's the boys putting in the effort every Saturday, putting in the effort on the field and getting the wins that make me look like I didn't know what I'm doing out there. So this one's to the boys for your mana and giving it plenty of chutney. Cheers, boys.
Now that is a grassroots speech. When you're thanking people like Donga and Mutton, it doesn't get better than that, does it? Outstanding. Our next, and chutney, exactly. Our next trophy tonight is the Lane Pen Trophy for Coach of the Year for the Premiers. And your nominations are Neil Roger and Garth Thompson. Neil and Garth are the two head coaches of the Carterton Premiers side and have coached together for a couple of years now. Each bringing their own particular brand of coaching, they coached their part of the team and successfully retained a talented group of players that led them to the finals in 2 years, winning 22's final in style. Our next nominee tonight is James Bruce. James is a committed coach to the Martinborough Rugby Football Club Premier side, reaching a semi-final spot this year. Although that is his official title at the club, his role extends a lot further. He takes a keen interest in the younger players and developing their interest in rugby. His passion for growing the game extends further than Martinborough, but also within the wider Wairarapa Bush Union. He assists with JB and college age grade rugby when called upon and will make room for college players at senior trainings during school holidays. This season, he also coached a girls' ripper team at Martinborough School and the Wairarapa Bush Rugby Union Barbarians. James was the driving force in the formation of the Barbarians team, as a genuine concern for players' well-being on and off the field, as well as their families, and organises team fundraisers and get-togethers, and is involved in all club events. James's enthusiasm and passion is a huge part of the Martinborough Rugby Club. He does not do what he does for accolades, but rather for a genuine love of the sport and the people involved. And our third nominee tonight is Gerald Lalonga. Gerald has led Marist to their second final in 3 years this year. What made this all the more impressive was that he took the team from second last in 2021 to the finals in 2022. After starting the season with 2 wins out of 3 in the Lane Pen Cup, Marist carried out a strong form over the Moose Kapiti Cup competition, where a side won 6 out of 7 games and claimed the Brian Weatherston Cup for finishing top of the table in regular season play. Marist made their Premier Club finals, but lost the game with last year's runner-up Carterton. Gerald spent a massive amount of time trying to develop leaders in his player group and coaching staff, and formed a leadership team with the key senior players to ensure all players were contacted, communicated and well supported, and within the well-being of the team was monitored. His coaching staff were also given more responsibility, and he helped mentor them in crafting into the coaching trade. He spent a lot of time behind the scenes strengthening the relationship between the Premier and senior reserve sides as well. Gerald continues to promote and embrace team culture and individuals within the club and team's cultural identity, and he continues to develop his own coaching ability by involving himself in representative sides, again coached the Wairarapa Bush under-20s through their campaign. Gerald Lalonga. And I'd like to call up Steve Penn to present this award. And your 2022 Lane Penn Trophy for Coach of the Year, James Bruce. You've got to do a speech, Brucey.
Kia ora people. First of all, I'd like to congratulate everyone in this room for everything they've done and for the reasons of being here, and probably also more so how they are here and the people that have helped them to get here, which leads me to I probably shouldn't be standing up here. I feel humbled to be here, and I congratulate the other recipients of this. Brother Brown, Huttere, he's not here tonight, but he's been a massive part of the team, as so have our management. And to be fair, as a coach, as anyone who's coached would know, the senior players play as much of a role as what I do in the team, and without those senior players jumping in the same waka, so to speak, you're up shit creek without a paddle. So we had a pretty good year. I think we only won a few games last year, and we had the same team this year. It's just a different mindset and getting things together. And yeah, so no, I'm really humbled by this, and I didn't think I was be standing up here, but thank you very much, and thank you very much to the Bush Union and all the support that we've had from them as well during the season, probably especially Hates, yep, for me, thank you. Cheers.
Well done, Brucey. I suspect the lemonades will be flowing at the Pukamari tonight, who are watching on the live stream, so well done, team. Our next award tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the Wairarapa Bush Rugby Union Referee Awards, and I'd like to call up Peter Debney to present this.
Yeah, thanks, BG. First of all, it's apologies from Graham Rismer. Graham unfortunately had a long-term arrangement tonight, and he would have been the one here making this presentation. You'll see there was no name on the award, and at that stage until tonight, or the last couple of days, we had kept under wrap that Gary Hall is our recipient, and we believe that Baden would endorse that. Gary, would you come forward, please? So Rizzy's given me these few words to share with you. He said that, and it does to me too, it gives me great pleasure to stand in front of you all tonight and recognise one of your longest serving referees with a presentation of this very prestigious award. Gary is recognised in 2022 as the recipient of the Baden Whale Trophy as the Outstanding Referee of 2022. Gary may not often feature in the Premier limelight, but where he is outstanding and excels is where the real mahi of refereeing world is, in the lower grades. Gary has been refereeing in the Wairarapa since 1984. Now, Gary will be known to each and every South Wairarapa rugby player, 11 years through to 50 years, no question about that. Because of his high profile initially at Kuranui College, but because they all respect him for his calm, unflappable and firm manner in officiating the game. When the yellow and red cards came in, he was quite traumatised when he came in the first time and actually sent a player off with a yellow card, because Gary's manner has always been, how do I work to keep 30 players on the paddock throughout a game? And he really works at it. So everyone expects your mana, Gary, and the way you contribute so much to our great game here in the Wairarapa. Now, as an appointments officer, speaking for myself, he is an absolute dream to work with. You know, things change during the week. Whenever I appoint him, he heads off with a smile and hopefully, and Shona's being totally supportive in the background, so that really helps. But he has such a positive attitude towards, that includes whenever in consecutive weeks I've had it going in the old days to Pongaroa and next week down to Puranawa. And Gary never declines an appointment and is happy to work with the under-11s or conversely two niggity senior reserve teams. And you get the odd niggle in senior reserves, guys, don't you? In recent years, when Gary had a game at Pongaroa, he would pack a thermos flask and pick up two other icons of our fraternity, Baden Whale and Keith Hannon, who of course were no longer with us. Imagine the amount of penalty tries the three of them would discuss between here and Pongaroa. We used to have dine out on some of the stories that came back. Gary, from a personal perspective, it is an honour to recognise your contribution to Wairarapa Bush Rugby and this trophy. But equally I know that this knowledge, the very knowledgeable audience we have here tonight, along with everyone else watching or hearing about this, will say, congratulations, thank you. And how has it taken so long to finally get you up here and recognise your service? Thank you, Gary.
It'd be fair to say when I was playing and coaching, you always looked at the referee appointments, and when you saw that the game had been appointed to Gary Hall, you rolled your eyes because you went, oh, I'm not going to get to play with pretty much anything in that game. It's been fantastic, Gary, and honoured to referee with you, mate, so well done.
Thanks, Brent and Peter. Yeah, it is a surprise and a big honour. Baden Whale, I'm really rapt to get his trophy. I couldn't hold a candle to him, but I'm close. Refereeing is an enjoyable form of community service, believe it or not. Yes, there are times when things are a bit het up and a few verbals going on, and there are people out here in front of me that will know that we've talked on the field about certain decisions made. But by and large, really enjoyable. I'll put a plug in for refereeing. If you're looking at finishing playing, keep on getting involved in refereeing. You'll really enjoy it. Thank you.
Our next trophy tonight is the Bob Francis Trophy for Best and Fairest. As you heard earlier, Bob and Mary couldn't make it tonight. So, Tavita, I'd like to call you up to do the presentation. And the winner of the Bob Francis Trophy for Best and Fairest, George Park, East Coast.
No, I'd just like to say thanks to the boys out of the East Coast this year. Really sort of taken me under their wing, first year out of school. Didn't have too many bright ideas in terms of what I was going to do for rugby, but no, they took me in and showed me how to enjoy good footy, especially at Wairarapa Bush Prem level, and haven't looked back since. But yeah, thanks to everyone and Bush in general. Thank you.
Our next trophy tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the Sir Brian Lahore Supreme Award for Club of the Year. This is certainly a big one. And there are 2 finalists this year, and those finalists are Tuharangi. They won the senior reserve grade competition after making the finals repeatedly in the last few seasons. They fronted with the team every week throughout one of the most challenging seasons they could remember. The level of rugby the players always bring is a high quality, fair standard, even when they are playing with no reserves. The boys are always positive, even when they've had to play a game of play game on rugby, or had been given the opportunity to give the opposition players, just so the players who have turned up can have a run around. 5 of their 2022 team were selected for the Wairarapa Bush Barbarian side. JB continues to be strong within the club that is based in a remote area of the region, and those players continue to add a lot of value to the teams they play in. They provide the best after-match hospitality and a great start of point of most clubs for the bus ride home. Tuharangi Rugby Football Club. And our second nominee tonight is the Marist Rugby Club. Marist turned it on with notable success at all levels of Wairarapa Bush Club Rugby this year, on the field and off it, with impressive playing numbers and astute administration. The under-13 team triumphed over Martinborough to win their respective grade. Both Premier and Reserve grade teams have had successful seasons, with both making grand finals, and even though narrowly pipped on the day, could be recognised and celebrated as collectively the most successful senior club achievement this season on the field. Marist Rugby Club. And Bunter, I'd like to call you up to present the award. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 Sir Brian Lahore Supreme Award winner for Club of the Year, Tuharangi. Boys, I'm sure you agree, no number ones, that's a fine, right?
I'm not sure I might be speaking. I just came to drive the drunken Turingi lads home, but nevertheless, I am a proud Turingi lad. It has been a pretty tough last few years for us. We've got no numbers, but you don't have numbers, you just smear on the chutney even thicker, eh? And still made the finals every year and finally got it. So yeah, cheers. Cheers, guys.
I'm pretty sure part of Tuharangi's number one kit next year are dress jandals as well. That was outstanding. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure now to announce the MediaWorks Achievement Award. Well, I won't be announcing actually. It'll be Tony Hargood that will come up and do the presentation and a bit of a speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure to announce the MediaWorks Achievement Award for 2022. The award recognises a person for their service to rugby in the Wairarapa, or a special moment that has moved our organisation in a positive way. Previous recipients of this have been Farry McLeod, Blue Hanson and Eli Telford. The Wairarapa Bush Rugby Union MediaWorks Award for 2022 is awarded to Warren Reary. Here, and I'll ask you to say a few words in a moment. Just a little bit about Warren. Warren's services to the contribution to a number of clubs over many years, namely Pioneer, East Coast, but his voluntary work as a strapper for numerous Wairarapa Bush teams is second to none. I can speak from experience in 2000, when Moose Carpany and I were appointed the coaches of the Wairarapa Bush B team. Warren arrived at the training unannounced and said, "Guys, I'm here to do anything you want me to do." We didn't have strapping back in 2000, so we chucked him a bottle of liniment and off he went. And he's been rubbing players up and down the Wairarapa for all those years since. You interpret that any way you like. From there, Warren has been a regular feature of the rep season. And while coaches come and go, one person has been constant, and that has been Warren. Warren, congratulations, and we know the green and red runs through your veins, but I think it's your warmth as a person which endears us to you all, to you. I'll just give a bit of a rundown of Warren's history before I pass over to Naomi. He played his junior rugby from 60-64 at Pioneer, Alfred. Senior rugby, Ekirahuna, Pioneer. He was a strapper for he was represented Wairarapa Bush Māori. He's been a strapper at East Coast. He's also coached East Coast. He's also been on the committee. He's a life member of East Coast. He's been on the committee of the Wairarapa Bush Māori. He's been a strapper for all these Wairarapa Bush teams, the senior Bs, the senior girls, the Colts, the under-16s, and for the last 10 years he's been the strapper and Blue Hanson's right-hand man or left-hand man with the Heartland team. People, it is a great honour to award Wananreri the MediaWorks Lifetime Achievement for Wairarapa Bush Rugby.
On behalf of Dad, he can't be here today. He's not very well. But he wanted to thank everybody, especially the Wairarapa Bush Union and all the players. And hopefully he'll be back soon. Thank you.
All right, on to our representative awards. Just before we get into that, I'll just read out a list of some of our representative honours for the 2022 season. Manawatu Cyclones, Annemiek van Vliet. Hurricanes Heartland Under-20s, George Park, East Coast. Callum Higginson is the vice-captain from Martinborough Rugby Club. Cody McGlashan, master to Red Star Rugby Club. Freddie Eichenbach from Gladstone. Hayden Cooper from Marist. Cademan Hawkins, Martinborough. James Waterson, Ikitahuna, Henry Buck, East Coast Rugby Club, and Tarquin Karatiana from Master to Red Star Rugby Club. Hurricanes Under-18 Development, Wirramoo Bartlett, Rathkill College. New Zealand Māori Under-18 Camp, Wirramoo Bartlett, Will Cole, Max Lett, Rathkill College. Ziddy Harmon, Onamita, Wairarapa College. Arapita Kingi, Pioneer, and Avuvason Savalinga from Masterton Red Star Rugby Club. And Hurricanes Youth Rugby Council Under-16 Tournament Team, Johnny Falloon, Rathkill College. Congratulations to all of those going on to higher honours from our wonderful union. I'd now like to call up Jason and Sharon to present our representative awards. Starting with the Wairarapa Bush Under-16s. And our first award tonight for the Wairarapa Bush Under-16s, Most Promising. That award goes to
just like to say thank you to the rugby union for putting it on for us in the under-16s tournaments this year. It's been real mean. I'd say thank you to my coaches, Stacey, Garth and Eli at Rathgill, and JT and Petty for under-16s. Yeah, couldn't have done without you guys. It's been real good. Cheers.
Our next award, ladies and gentlemen, is the Best Player Award, and a joint award this year. Mitchell Shields and Lashawn Paku. Come over with, come over with.
Thank you, JT and Perry. Cheers.
Nice. And next category is the under-18s, and most promising player for 2022, Willie Mataitai. Got to get your photo, G. And best player for the Wairarapa Bush Rugby Union under-18s, Cooper. On to the under-20s. Most promising player for the under-20s, Callum Higginson. And the under-20s best player of the season, Freddie Eschenbach. And next awards are for the Wairarapa Bush Rugby Union Women's Most Promising and Best Player, and the Your 2022 Most Promising Player, Darlene Iona. Or as she was nicknamed, the Darlene Express. And just because I'm involved with the team, I'll tell you a little bit about Darlene in her first season of rugby. When we went up to Thames Valley and played, Scotty watched the game back, and I think you stopped counting at 32 carries. I think just in the first half. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is a very much player to watch in the future. She's amazing. Thank you, Darlene.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Talofa lava, take this opportunity to say thank you very much to our amazing coaches, Brent Keir and Scott Collins, and also the management and all the supporters and our team, Wahine Toa. Also, yeah. Yeah, thank you. And to all our supporters, thank you. Everyone here too.
And our best player for the 2022 Wairarapa Bush season. Unfortunately, she can't be here tonight. It is Waimarie Missy Williams. She does rock the Crocs, there's no doubt about that. All right, you've heard from our regional and national honours, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure you'd agree it is certainly pretty impressive that we've got so many people that are representing the level and so many, representing the union rather, at so many different levels. It's fantastic. On to the Wairarapa Bush Farriers Heartland team for 2022. And we'll start the engine room, Best Forward of the Year. And that award goes to James Goodyer.
Hey, kia ora again, guys. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm a passionate Wairarapa Bush supporter, player, always have been, and yeah, hopefully I can go another year. So, cheers. Thanks.
Your 2022 Wairarapa Bush Heartland team back of the year, Tafa. Now, unfortunately, Tafa couldn't be here tonight, but Gerald would like to come up and accept the award on Tafa's behalf. Your Farriers Heartland team most promising player of the year, Tupou.
Jada, bro.
And last but not least, your 2022 Wairarapa Bush Farriers Heartland team Player of the Year. And that award goes to Tafa Tafa. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at the conclusion of tonight's fantastic evening. I just want to thank everyone on the live stream before we go, and to all of you here that could be here tonight. It certainly shows that when you look at JAB and when you look at certainly Scotty and I involved in the women's game, that rugby is in good stead. And congratulations to those who have been named as head coaches for their teams next year or are going through that process now. It's a hugely rewarding experience, and just to echo what the legend that is Gary Hall said before, if you are finishing up playing, get into refereeing. It's a hell of a lot of fun. You learn a lot. I learnt so many rules that I didn't know existed. And more's the point, it's a great bunch of people to referee with as well. So my name's Brent Gear from More FM, major sponsors here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll hand you back to Tony. Cheers.
Thank you, BG. Just to conclude the evening, just thank you for everyone that's here. Everyone out in the live stream, Toby was saying the numbers are really great of people looking in. I just want to make two thank yous, plus also to say to the we've got a major tradition a decade now. So at the completion of my speech and thank yous, if you could all come up with your trophies over here and we do a big group photo and that gets plastered on social media. So just two thank yous very quickly. Trish Hemming, thank you very much for your work in the background. We'll have a little gift here. And the last one is to OMC, former councillor of Marsden District Council, Brent Gear, who's now out on his own doing more gigs and everything like that. BG, you are an absolute champion for promoting not only sport but other events around the Wairarapa. We're very lucky to have someone of your talent in this community. I know you're hard and fast coastie. We did beat both those teams this year, but you are a champion, and I just want to say thank you. You make this evening what it is. Thanks. That concludes the evening. Drive safe, and if I can have all the award winners to come up here, and Jade will find a space and get you all set up. Thank you and good night.